Translating the Lines, Parvaneh Farid, September 2011. I am working on visible and invisible lines at the present time, and that is my understanding of them. A line is the registered form of the pathway of the movement of the center of gravity of a volume against the center of the gravity of another volume in time. In our case, the center of the gravity of the Earth. A line does not exist as a solid substance. Hence, all lines are invisible, and one cannot create a line nor leave a line behind. Nevertheless, a line can be performed in a form of a melody or a piece of choreography. The lines could only exist during the performance period, and as soon as they are performed, they vanish. So how can we register lines? On the basis of what just has been said, one may ask, what line which is clearly visible on a surface is then? My answer to this question is, what is visible on a hard surface is not the line itself, but the registration of the trace of the performance of that line. The marks which are left behind by the use of some form of equipment, such as pen or brush, on a canvas. Likewise is the performance of a melody line on a piece of choreography. However, unlike the registration of the path of a series of lines which are performed and left some visible marks on a canvas, the marks which a melody line or a movement leave behind is not visible, but invisible. And these invisible lines are imprinted on the canvas of our memories. In other words, in absence of the memory, a piece of melody is not but just a single note which happens and forgotten without having any relation to those notes which were performed earlier. For example, la 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 la. Without having a memory, it just sounds like this. La 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 la. Try to forget any notes which is performed before the last one. Likewise, in absence of the memory, a piece of choreography or a movement is not but several fixed and isolated gestures. For example, instead of seeing these, if we don't remember the previous gestures, we just see these and not these. In fact, it appears as we look at a single picture frame in a movie reel at a time. My exhibitions of the lines will include some sculpture, photography, painting and drawing, calligraphy, movement, and melodies. In doing that, I will perform the lines and will register them or their marks on hard surfaces as much as possible. One way of registering the lines on a hard surface is to cut or to tear that surface. And the edge of that cut will demonstrate the line which is performed. In making sculptures out of lines, I shall use this technique. Let's see how it goes. This is my back garden, and I'm fixing some lines to hang up the sculptures that I'm about to produce. This is a piece of aluminium mesh sheet that I'm about to produce some sculptures out of. I spread this out and fold it double, so when I create or perform the lines by cutting it, later on I can have mirror images of this performance. I cut this aluminium piece at random, basically, having some idea of what I'm going to do later on with it in mind. After cutting through, I spread it again from where it was double folded. Looks quite interesting. The lines that I performed by cutting are quite visible throughout the piece. And these are some photographs of them. Now I start to roll this up and tie it up with some wires. Here I hang it to the lines that I fixed earlier on. And that gives me some facility to hang the sculpture up. It is taking its form now. I am modeling it with hands, having that idea of mirror image in mind. This is the finished piece. And we see some photographs of it. Some pieces that I have made earlier I paint them to see how they look. One in black, early on before painting it. Close up. And close up of the painting in black. This one I paint in gold. Before painting and after. This is another piece. I do some experimental work. I use some filler to see how it goes, how it works with a piece that I made before. To be honest with you, it's not a success story, this one. But that's an experiment. Close up of that experiment. Back to the one that we just have made. Some neighbors complained actually, and they found them ugly, even though they are in my private back garden. It's good that they have some reaction, of course. And I'm going to ask them how they feel about it and why they find them disturbing. And I hope they're honest and frank enough with me to tell me what they think. I think I found it quite helpful. And I'm glad that it's creating some reaction in people. I'm hanging various pieces next to each other now. And the garden is quite full of them because it's not a large garden. And it's about 5 or 6 pieces, as you see. One in gold, one in black, and the rest in aluminium original color. This one I photograph against the sky. This one against the grass. And that is the exhibition in making. An exhibition performed with lines. Thank you for watching. And please don't forget to leave comments on YouTube.